Welcome to my tutorial on Desmos. So Desmos is a really fantastic graphing calculator. It's fantastic because it's free. There is a website, you go desmos.com, and you can graph, or there's also a downloadable app. So all my students have this app on their iPad. We first, in the beginning of the semester in Algebra 1, have graphed lines and watched lines transforming, moving up and down the X and Y axis, what's happening. And now we've just got done learning about quadratics, which are things to the second power. So we're going to be graphing x squared, negative x squared, and adding constants to them, seeing how they're moving. And it's a lot done easier this way using technology rather than having to graph them by hand. You can get through a lot more graphs and understanding just by typing them in rather than having to sit and writing by hand. So to get started, you just have to click on Start Graphing. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright, so we got a nice little coordinate plane here. You can see what's real nice. You can zoom in and out. You know, if you get a function, you get it real small or real big. What's also nice too is you can change this graph to polar graph. You can put it in radians for pre-calculus. We use pi, 2 pi, go by our pi's, or pi over 2. So Desmos is awesome. Desmos understands you can either write y equals x squared, or you can just type in x squared itself. So I'm just going to type in x squared itself. It's understood y equals. And we have a nice little parabola the kids can see. So they could talk about our vertex that's at 0, 0, and how it's positive. It's going up forever. And then I like to compare. We compared first the negative x squared, so you can see, look, it flips. The negative makes it flip across the x-axis. Same exact, if you fold it up, you'd be matching up. And then we got into different types of transformations. So I had the kids graph x plus 3 all squared. I'm going to get rid of this negative. X minus 3 all squared. X squared plus 3. X squared minus 3. Okay, so those are our main 4 types of shifting. So I like that they color code Desmos too, so you can kind of see which graph's which. So our red is our original parent function, and the kids could see on the green, well, that plus 3 made it shift negative 3 on the x-axis. The minus 3 made it shift positive 3. Those are kind of the opposites. Horizontal is always opposites, I tell my kids. And then at the very end, if you got x squared, then you add 3 at the end, that's your vertical shift. Shift up 3, shift down 3, and vertical is always the same. So the students are very easily able to see all this rather than having to graph all of these by hand, plugging in points. It's awesome. So my second part of my lesson, I told kids, gave them some conditions. So I said, I want the parabola to open upward, and let's move it down the y-axis. Infinitely many possibilities. Infinite. Kids a lot had trouble on this because they're like, they want one answer, they want you to tell them the answer. I said, no, you need to come up with a graph other than the one next to your buddy. So if we want to be positive, it has to be x squared, not negative. And then we want it to move down on the y-axis, I believe I said. So down, we knew you had to subtract something, so we could subtract 9 off of it. Subtract 2, we can subtract 5.55554. Can subtract anything. It's always going to move down. So infinite many. So we did a few of those. The kids started to get the hang of it. And then I went to the conditions where you had to have them. One answer. So I said I wanted the parabola to open down, shift up 4. So if it opens down, it has to be negative. And if it's going to... And I believe I said shift up 4, if not, that's what I mean. So if you want to shift up 4, we have to add 4 to the very end. Moved up 4. So the kids were very easily able to do a bunch of trial and error real fast without graphing it. Trial and error real fast, I love. So Desmos, awesome site. There's a lot of different application activities too. I haven't gotten into that much yet with assigning things. And you can assign things, create accounts, etc. Really good tool. Suggest everyone to look into it and use it whenever appropriate. like I said, appropriate because obviously you can't graph on a test like this because this would not, if I was testing you how to graph. But using it for applications like transforming, great. Thanks for watching.